Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a bonus new moon for the month of April tarot oracle reading. And Pisces, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Pisces, we all have a little bit of Pisces in us somewhere. If you have your birth chart, which house is Pisces in, that's where this energy will show up for you. This is a timely reading, so if you're watching it at this time, this is the perfect time for you. And having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then, that could give you further clarity as to your situation now. We're going to begin with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck, and we have the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is the most loving queen of all the queens, and also the most maternal. She has the cup, which is representing love, and usually romantic love, but it can also be love of all sorts. This is the most maternal of all the queens. This is my cat Stella joining us for the reading. She's my co-pilot. Her job is to sit on my lap and purr. She takes it quite seriously when she's in the mood. And she raises the vibration. Cat's purr actually raises the vibration to a level where it can actually lower blood pressure. I figure we could all use that. So thank you, Stella. She's got happy feet, so she's just going to circle a bit here. And then you're going to be a good girl and settle down, right? Okay, so sorry about that. We have this queen holding this cup, and this is talking about her cup is like a trophy. It's very big, and it has a lid on it. The lid represents the energy of, she's a container for unconditional love. So this actually can represent the maternal bloodline, as well as maybe someone, a potential lover, that kind of energy. And then we have from the bottom of the deck, the internal forces. So the internal forces, look, we have marriage. So this looks like this queen might be someone that someone's considering marrying, or it could represent that you are married, something to do with this. This is your internal forces. This is the Four of Wands, and the wands represent passion and action. They're made of wood, and they come from the tree, so they also represent the deep roots of ancestors, as well as the offshoots, which are the descendants. And so this card is actually talking about marriage, commitment, and partnerships. So if it's not about love, romantic love, it could be about something you love to do or something you love to be, and maybe work-related, a partnership of some sort, a commitment in any case. This, if it is someone about marriage, this is talking that it's the beginning of fulfillment. And basically what it's saying is you do have the down payment for your castle, and now you just have to make the mortgage payments. And then the question was popped, the answer was yes. And now you're maybe planning the wedding, and then after that you're going to need to put your time and energy into the marriage itself so that it's fulfilling. And then, so that's your internal forces. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles. So the Queen of Pentacles is considered to be very, very resourceful. The Pentacles in tarot represent health, wealth, and happiness in the third dimension. So a big part of that, of course, is you have to have money to survive in the 3D world. So the pentacle is represented by coin. But the thing is that money, you could have all the money in the world and still not be living the lifestyle you want. So this actually, the pentacles represent lifestyle. And so the queen is known to be someone who is very resourceful and quality over quantity. This quite often is talking about generational wealth, a legacy that you could hand down to your children and your children's children. The Queen of Pentacles is someone who's also very stable, someone you can count on. And then we have the energy of the Hermit. So the Hermit is talking about a dark night of the soul. This is when something has happened in your life that's really shaken you up, and you're recovering from it. Like it could be something that was a nasty surprise, or maybe there was someone gets sick in the family or something like that. So it's something that is really bothering you. And the hermit goes climbs a mountain so that he can be at the top of the mountain on his own, and be by himself, and when the light on his lantern gets full of the light of the North Star, then he knows it's time to come down from the mountain. His rod is golden, and it's like, okay, take action now in what you learned. So that's well, there we go. And then we have a Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles is talking about the knights would first and foremost would work for the king and the queen and the rest of the court, and they would deliver messages and communication information far and wide. In the old days, that was the only form of communication they had, long distance wise. So they would travel to another kingdom, deliver a message, wait for the answer, and then have to come back, and so it would take quite a while. These days we have all sorts of forms of communication, so this could represent a letter coming in the mail or some documents possibly. There could be a phone call, a text message, possibly an email. Maybe you're on social media and you get a message from someone, or you see, hey, there's an event posted, I think I'm going to go to that event. And when you attend, you run into someone that is the perfect person for what you needed to know. And so this is that kind of energy, information coming in one way or another. It's also a really good idea to take at least 5 minutes from your day just to find out what's going on in the world, especially at the top of the pyramid. What are the leaders doing? What's going on? Whatever is going on at the top of the pyramid most definitely is going to have an effect on everyone below. Now, the Knight of Pentacles is one of 4 knights, and he's representing the element of earth and the pentacle. And this is some information coming in regarding money or your lifestyle, maybe a promotion at work, something like that. It could be a lot of things. Maybe you got the contract, maybe you were schmoozing and a client and you got the job, that kind of energy. This is talking about, also it can quite often be about land, because it is regarding earth, like real estate, land developers, that kind of energy. So this is saying that, that when this offer comes in, it's usually a solid offer. But the thing about the Knight of Pentacles is he's the slowest knight in the whole deck. Like, his horse is literally at a standstill, and he's sitting there and surveying the domain and deciding which way to go, and you're just like, would you hurry up and get the information here already? I need it. Waiting and waiting. And then we have the energy of the Wheel of Fortune coming in. The Wheel of Fortune is a sign of happy-go-lucky energy. Your fortune is changing for the better. So it might be regarding this information. After you receive this information, the wheel starts turning in your favor. This is talking about the past, the present, and the future all coming together. There's actually 3 wheels on the Wheel of Fortune. It's interesting because on one of those wheels are the Hebrew letters for the name of God, which is a tetragrammaton. Tetragrammaton is actually a sacred geometric symbol that symbolizes unity, a unified source. And this energy in geometria, where they assign numerical value to letters, when they took the letters of God and they put them in different sequences together, every one of the ratios represented the 5 ratio, very, very close to it, 1.618. And it's interesting because the 5 ratio also makes up, like, it's like boxes that progressively become bigger with that ratio. And those boxes nest in each other and they form certain patterns. And like one of those patterns we can see in nature is the tornado, the hurricane, the golden spiral. We can also see this similar pattern in seashells, as well as pine cones, pineapples, cone flowers, all of that kind of energy. It's very similar. It goes in a spiral energy. And then we can also see it in the golden ratio. And the golden ratio is the proportions that make up the flowers and even the way the tree branches present themselves. So this energy is, like, for instance, in the human face, it's divided up and down and side by side. So the energy is talking about like the distance from the top of your hairline to the eyebrows, and then from the eyebrows down to the bottom of the nose, and the nose down to the chin. And then you take out those proportions, and they make up the face. And everybody's face is pretty similar within those proportions, slightly different, but very close. And then you take the size of your head to the size of your upper body and your lower body, and even your upper limbs, lower limbs, your hands, your feet, and your fingers and toes. So we're all made up similarly. Dogs, cats, every animal is made up in proportion similar as well. And you know, we can see that. And I found this when I never knew about this. When I learned about this, I found it to be so comforting. Like when I go for a walk in nature now, I can really see how that the perfect order of the universe that God created, it's absolutely beautiful. And you know, sometimes, and these days in particular, it seems like, man, there's a lot of chaos in the world right now. There's a lot going on. And so when we go out in nature, we can see this, how really underlying all of that is the perfect nature, you know, and the perfect order and discipline that the universe actually has. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles. And the Ace of Pentacles is representing this energy of the reward. Sorry, my brain had I had a brain fart for a second there. This is a reward. This giant pentacle is a reward from God and the universe for staying on your path of glory. So this is about staying on your destined path, and I feel it's talking about this energy right here. So this could be a lot of money coming in, like generational wealth of some sort. This could be inheritance, or maybe a trust fund. Maybe you're waiting for this, or maybe it's a surprise. It could be like maybe your business goes viral all of a sudden, and all of a sudden you're making a lot of money and are super popular. Okay, then we have this energy coming in. So this is the 10 of Swords, and this is not a happy card. Obviously, we're looking at this and going, where does it belong in this? So this must be the Knight of the dark night of the soul energy. And so this is talking about, oh, I get it. So this is been stabbed in the back and left for unalive, and you're laying there and looking into the horizon there. You can see there's light at the end of the tunnel. It's more dark than light, but the sun is coming up or it's setting. We can't tell which. This energy is, his right hand is in the form of a blessing, just like the Hierophant. The Hierophant is about traditional structure in the legal and the law-making part of the earth, like the law systems, the courts, etc. So it's about law and order on planet Earth. And this is representing a concerted effort to put you down in this position. This isn't like, oh, someone sort of doesn't like you. This is like, wow, they really, really wanted you to be like this. And they're hoping you stay that way. And this is 10... This can represent, this could be over a decade of energy. It could represent 10 times by one person, or 10 different people, or even 10 groups of people, depending on how much money this is. Generally, when this energy comes in, it's generally because of this energy, money. Some people will do anything for money. And so this energy that is definite sabotage, and I feel like that's what the dark night of the soul is. And we're going to look into it a little bit more. It's kind of interesting because it's featuring the Queen here and someone you're married to, and so I hope that that's not connected to this energy, but we're going to keep going and look into it. We have the identity and self-image here. So you identify, Pisces, with this energy right here, right now. It is about being resourceful and having, having enough money. But I feel like you're having to be resourceful, and maybe that's not a condition that you're normally used to. So it could have to do with the economy or that kind of energy, or it might be regarding this energy here causing the dark night of the soul. So the abundance and self-worth, this is saying that something has happened and it's caused you a lot of distress. Clearly this kind of energy. And you've gone, you seek guidance from God. So you've gone inward to pray, and you didn't maybe actually climb a mountain, maybe you did. but it's taking the time to really go inward and try and figure out, where you're at and what you really want, and to use your intuition to try and get down to the bottom of what's going on here. We have your communication in early life, and this is talking about being methodical. And so you may be that type of person that you take consistent steps of action and you like to think it out before you take the action. So you make plans in advance and then you implement those plans. Perhaps your plans did not go at all in the direction that you thought they were going to. The good news is there's some information coming in regarding quite a large sum of money. And generally when the Knight of Pentacles finally gets here, this energy is going to talk about, it's a large amount, and we can see that from the reward here. The Wheel of Fortune is now turning in your favor. This is your emotional foundation. So after consulting with God, the Wheel of Fortune starts changing and this information comes in. And now this is saying now you're going to be rewarded. This is your creativity and your area of romance. So this is, remember, lifestyle. It's not just coin. So this could represent, if you're not married yet, that you want to offer a cup of love to someone, and once this money comes in, then you feel like you'll be able to afford to do that. Maybe you're considering starting a family and that kind of energy, and it would totally make a difference in your lifestyle. This health, daily routine, and limits. This sabotage has costed you. Costed you? No, has cost you. Sorry. This sabotage has cost you a lot. And so of your time, your money, your energy, and the people that are responsible for this backstabbing energy quite possibly could be people that you trusted in your inner circle, because it feels like it's about pentacles and also love. So let's keep going here and see. Now, these are the internal forces, and you're going to know it's the internal forces because you're going to ask questions like, what if I can't get back up? Then what are they going to do? Or what is it possible they did this? What if it was them that did this to me? Then what do I do? That kind of energy. And this is talking about, there's a transition coming. This is the end of this cycle. So now this is the 10 is talking about the beginning of a new cycle. 1 plus 0 equals 1, so it's a 1 cycle. This is talking about new energy coming in after this has happened. And then this is talking about here a transition. So again, it's saying that this part of your life is over. There's light at the end of the tunnel. The Grim Reaper is coming in. The Grim Reaper does not necessarily represent an actual physical death. It represents the energy of someone, of a cycle ending and a new one beginning. And this is also talking about, rebirth and birth. So because the new moon coming up on the 17th is in the sign of Aries, this is about birth. Aries is the very first sign in the zodiac, and you're the very last sign in the zodiac. And so this energy, both you and Aries, for this new moon, it's very, it's going to have a bigger pull on you than a lot of the other signs, because this energy, and also it'll have a bit of, Libra is opposite on the wheel and the horoscope from the Aries energy. And Libra is about marriage, commitment, and partnerships to significant others. So it's kind of those three signs are really going to be feeling this energy. Pisces, the moon is moving out of Pisces into Aries. And the Pisces energy is a lot more dreamy, and it's the senior executive of the zodiac. It's the very last sign. And it's a little bit more idealistic. Also, there was 6 planets that have moved into the sign of Aries in the last little while here, and it's really intense energy. This probably won't happen for one astrologer I saw. I can't remember who it was, but they were saying that it could be like about an 800-year cycle before we see this kind of energy in Aries again. So this is moving out of Pisces, the most senior executive, into the infant energy from water to fire. And in Neptune, for instance, has been in Pisces for the last 14 years. And Neptune is all about how we approach life, our idealism, that kind of energy, like how do we approach relationships, love, etc. And Neptune moved into the sign of Aries on the 26th of February. So it is new in there, and it's going to be in Aries for 14 years now. So everything about the way we approach business, how we approached our relationships, whether it be love with our family, people around us, our idealism, like how do that energy has shifted now into this Aries energy, which is more about learning. You think about how much a baby learns in the first year of their life. That's the energy we're moving into. And with all these 6 planets having just done that, and now the moon about to join it. And the other thing is Venus just moved on March 6th. Venus moved into the sign of Aries at that point, and so it's affecting love as well. So it's making our significant relationships, like the Libra energy across the wheel from Aries, and then the fact that the moon left your sign and is moving into the Aries sign. It's affecting significant partnerships, commitments, marriage, that kind of energy. So this card, and then the position this card is going in, is there's a major transition in your partnerships, commitments, and marriage kind of energy. So that if you're not married, it could mean that you are thinking about offering a cup of love to someone, the Queen of Cups, or perhaps, and you might be in this energy here. So this, one thing I want to explain also is that the queens can also be males in their feminine energy, as well as a female in their feminine energy. This could represent really using your intuition if you're a male and you're wanting to offer a cup of love to the female line, or this could represent the energy of you're the Queen of Pentacles and someone wants to offer you a cup of love, and this could represent your maternal line, basically. So just take it however it works, but just be aware that this energy is quite intense, especially for Pisces and Aries for this new moon, and Libra, and it generally is about the how are you going? How is your significant relationship going? Venus is all about love, and as I said, it moved into Aries. So a lot of people are being a lot more assertive right now when it comes to love, as well as to all of their relationships. This is talking about really adopting new energy. It's a really, really awesome time to start brand new projects, or to take an old project that maybe wasn't as lucrative as you wanted it to be, and tweak it a little bit, and then take it back out there and see if it does better now. And this is about being very assertive, but not abrasive. Like, you do not want to be aggressive and abrasive in this energy. Aries, you have to be, when the Aries energy is, and there's all those signs in it, we all have to be really careful right now about not being impulsive and aggressive and abrasive with other people unnecessarily. And also being very authentic within ourselves. If ever there was a better time to be the real you, this is the time. It's going to make you shine and stick out, and your special qualities that people are looking for in a partner, in a commitment, or in a business, as a business partner, or maybe as an employee. That is going to really single you out and make you shine. So I think that's, brand new coming in. So just be aware of that energy. And so that's quite a bit, but that's basically why this new moon, that's what it's so powerful with it. And we also did just have the eclipse season. That was at the end of February and the beginning of March. And eclipses, I'm just describing it like, potpourri on the back burner of your stove, and it's gently bubbling. It's there, and it's there, but it's not your number, it's in the background. And so the eclipse energy is somewhat like that. And it takes about 6 months before it peters out. So after 6 months, you could look back to the end of February, beginning of March, And you'll notice, whoa, there's a whole lot of changes that happen with this Aries energy. There's a lot of new coming in. And if you look at it, you can also track your progress. And you might be thinking, oh, I haven't made any progress whatsoever. It seems like everything, I'm always turning around and having to figure out how to do something again. It's because of this new energy. And when you go back and you look at it, you might be like, wow, I really have gotten a lot done. And you'll notice your progress. So it's that kind of energy. It's there's some sort of transition happening in your partnerships, commitments, marriage. And this is an external force. Whoops, here we go here. So no, that's not in marriage, that's in external forces. So a lot of external forces are coming in that are going to cause a new transition. Let's see what that was from the bottom of the deck. And so it's for the overall energy for all the external forces. The external forces, you're not asking what if anymore. You're asking what the EF, like what the F happened. And what happened is an external force came in and changed your plans slightly. You can't control the external forces like you can your internal forces, but because you can't control what other people are going to say or do, or what the world leaders decide about the economy and tariffs and all of that kind of energy. But what you can do is control your emotions and discipline your mind so that you respond to the energy in a strong way rather than reacting to it in a negative way. And we do have the Page of Pentacles. So the Page of Pentacles is the knight when he was younger. The pages would start working in the court from around the age of 7 to 14, and they would come from the outlying families around that were high society, more educated, and they would begin learning the ropes in the palace and within the walls. And their main task would be to deliver communication back and forth to the people in the court, and also to do errands and that kind of energy. And they would, if they were still there by the time they were 21 and they were considered to be really doing a good job and accomplished and it was suitable for them, they would be considered for knighthood so long as they could afford a horse. So this energy is saying that there's some sort of information coming in about Pentacles, and this is back from like when you were around 7 to 14 years of age. It could have something to do with that. That's why maybe it's some sort of inheritance or trust fund or something that maybe you don't even know about, but it's a reward that's now coming in. Some sort of energy in that regard. And it also has something to do with marriage, commitment, and partnerships. So there's some sort of information possibly coming in about your marriage, a business partner, some other commitment that you've made. And it could be about also about because the information came in earlier, but now you can go back to, so if you're trying to figure out what this is and you still don't have, you have some information but not at all, look back to when you were around 7 to 14 to 21, under 21 years of age, to see what was going on in your life then. And it might give you some, if someone passed away or something, and maybe there was a will that you didn't know about, that kind of energy. And we do have the Eight of Wands coming in. So the Eight of Wands is representing conception and launching of a new project. And so you may have decided to do that. This is, again, in your position of transition now. And so there's a lot of transition energy. This is a new project being launched. And sometimes this can even represent conception of an actual baby. So, maybe you are married already, and that's the change, is that you're starting a family. We have this energy of Page of Swords coming in. So the Page of Swords is like the Page of Pentacles. He is delivering some communication in the same ways that there could be, it's not like the old days anymore. And so, of course, the knights, then the pages could be females also in that energy. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a young person that's delivering the message. It's the energy of that kind of like that youthfulness and like, oh, it's a new project, something that, you know, you feel excited about again, like you used to in the old days when you were younger, before life beat you down, that kind of energy. And so this is talking about some form of communication coming in regarding you know, mental intelligence and like your thoughts, basically. This sometimes can represent a breath of fresh air coming in. This is like, woohoo, like a eureka, I've got it, an epiphany, and or an idea that's like, wow, if I do this idea and launch that, that's going to be amazing. So it could be that type of energy. It's also talking about disciplining your mind. This character reminds me of someone who's about to take a swing in golf. And so, you know, it's kind of like, you know, golf is a very mental sport. When you're golfing, you're not really competing with the other golfers. You're competing with yourself to see if you can improve your game from the last time that maybe you were on that course, or even that you just had, you know, you were out golfing, depending on how much you do it. So if you have a real bad first hole, then, you know, you could let that ruin your whole game and it could spiral downward from there. But if you're able to discipline your mind and stay in the game, you could end up maybe getting a hole-in-one right after having a real crappy one. So, and this also, I just want to point out, represents the energy of thinking outside the box. It's very innovative thinking, perfect for this energy right now. He's the only one who's not looking at his element, because he knows what the question is. Now he's looking away from the question because he wants to think outside the box. And so this is talking about, you know, that aha moment, or that eureka, I've got it kind of energy. And then we have, because this closed mind energy is not the energy that you want to be in. This is talking about your career and reputation. And so this could be kind of an energy, and this is more like Pisces energy, you know, the way we approach business for the last 14 years, Pisces energy was using a lot the intuition, but it was also very authoritative and very like the way things have been done for, you know, a very paternal energy. And so this energy represents, this person is sitting here and they can only think of two solutions to the problem or the issue at hand. And that is it this way or is it that way? And quite often that computes to, is it my way or the highway? And so this is talking about not being able to see a bunch of creative solutions and only having two choices, and neither one of them is suitable to you. Now this can cause a lot of draining of energy when you're in this energy. You know, this person has their feet turned out. And sitting there like that with your feet turned out, it's leaking all your masculine and feminine energy. So it really leaves you open here. And then we have the closed energy up here on the top. The arms are crossed over the heart, saying you're protecting your heart. You maybe feel vulnerable with which decision to make. And you notice the right arm is holding back the left arm. And so your right arm is representing logic and your left arm is your intuition. What you want to do is use both of them. If you use the logic and intuition combined, that's when you have creative solutions. And there's not just two ways to do anything. There's always way more. Like once you start using your intuition as well. And that's what this blindfold can represent. You know, a lot of times it's about using your third eye energy as well. A lot of people will say, oh, when I see it, then I'll believe it. But a lot of people aren't really aware that the human eye can only see a small bandwidth of light. And so when we think we're seeing it all, we're actually only seeing a slim portion, and there's parts around us that we're actually not seeing. So this energy is saying keep an open mind, and when it comes to business and that kind of energy, because there could be some good opportunities coming in, and there's a new moon in the background. So that's tomorrow again, that energy, that new moon is coming out, and we may find that energy very beneficial. We have the Fool, yeah, so starting a new cycle at the 0 point. That's what I feel. I feel there's a lot of blessings coming in this new cycle. This energy is done with. I feel it's going to be resolved. If there's justice that needs, it's interesting because we don't have any cards about justice as of yet. We have, let's see, the Fool is starting a new cycle. It's about taking a leap of faith. You notice though, he is he has very little baggage and he's on his way. So a lot of this energy has been, because both of this is representing transition and launching the new, basically here. But he's got tattered sleeve, which represents he's been on a cycle or two before this one, and so it's not like he's starting off like from the very beginning. He's starting off with a lot of information that he learned from this last cycle that he was in. And so let's see what's the final card here, if that we can get any more clarity. So we do have the King of Pentacles energy coming in. So that's interesting because this makes a couple. If you put these two together, so this could be the King of Pentacles that has his eye on you and wants to offer you're this energy. This is how you're self-identifying at this time. So whether you're male or female, this is how you're identifying, being resourceful and that type of energy. This the King of Pentacles could be wanting to offer a cup of love to you. That makes total sense here. So that's clarifying that energy. The King of Pentacles is someone that is very good with pentacles. This is an energy of someone who people look up to and respect them for their business acumen. They would be someone that's high up in whatever business they're in. So this energy quite often can represent banking energy. So this would at least be a manager of a bank for sure. Loans officers, that type of energy. People with more responsibility. This could also represent accountants and financial advisors. If it's an accountant or financial advisor, it most likely be someone who's a partner in a well-established firm. And this can also represent real estate for sure. So land, the pentacles represent earth. So this could represent some sort of real estate purchasing, mortgage brokers, land developers, projects, launching a new project, maybe building a condo or that kind of energy somewhere. This can talk about investments in real estate. What else do we have here? It could be the head financial advisor of a corporation. This could be an entrepreneur that's doing very well. The grapes all over the robe of the King of Pentacles represent, grapes in tarot represent a luxury item that is challenging to have. And grapes are also, because grapes are challenging to grow and to make money off grapes, it's kind of like, okay, you've earned the respect of people because it's not easy to make money off of something that's hard to grow. And so it's like, and it's a luxury item, so it's saying, kudos to you, basically. So yeah, that's the energy. So that kind of clarified a lot of it here. This King of Pentacles energy might be coming in to empower you, maybe as a business partner, or it could be in love energy. And so, or both, maybe it's both. Kill two birds with one stone kind of energy. There we go. So we're going to clarify this next. If you're leaving this reading now, you feel like, no, I've got enough information here. Thank you so much for your time and energy. I really appreciate it. Consider subscribing and giving this a like and comment. I would really appreciate the like and comment. It helps build my channel, and you're more than welcome to subscribe to my channel. I'm going to clarify now for those that want clarification. So we're talking here about an energy of the Tales from the Vector, which is the oracle I've been working on since 2007. And in 2020, I finished all 64 paintings. There's some very large dragons coming in from the future and a lot of information written down. But right now I'm playing with the information, to see how it is in action with the cards now that I have them all done. And the numbers on the cards I'm using here represent the numbers of the paintings in my gallery on my website, talesfromthevector.com. And I don't know if I said it's courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light. And so I will list the numbers on these cards representing the paintings as they are in the gallery on my website. The information will be below, and I will put them in the order they appear here so you know which paintings to look for. All right, so we do have courage and strength coming in, and that's what this new moon is about, is how much courage do you have? How much new can you take in this new adventurous world we're in? There's a lot happening in this world right now, and this is again confirming the Hermit energy, saying make sure that you this is talking about in any commitment, make sure that you have a really clear idea of what it is you want, especially if you've been through something where there's been some sort of upset in your life that has been really challenging. And this is talking about like something that it's a sabotage from somewhere. And so this is about, traveling safely in this energy. We have the Hermit coming up twice. It's in your abundance here, and it's in marriage and commitment and partnerships here. So it's saying if you're going to get together with anyone, make sure that you do your homework, and that you make sure that you know what you want and you know what they want, and that it's an even exchange of energy. Also, there could be information coming in about some pentacles that went missing, because the Wheel of Fortune is turning in your favor, and it could be this kind of energy here. Could be just some sort of inheritance or a will that you don't know about, because it's coming up here that it could be energy coming in from from generational wealth here, and it could likely be your mother's like side of the family, or it could represent like that maternal line on your mother's side and the maternal line on your father's side kind of energy. We have on this is about temperance, having patience for this information to come in. Stay on your path. Don't be all impulsive and aggressive with people, and just stay calm. Be resourceful and calm, like the Queen here. And that type of energy is going to get you further ahead than if you get all worked up and get angry and do impulsive and get have a temper tantrum. Basically, you might be pissed off when you find out what this information. So you need to be in a position where you are prepared for that you're not going to really do something you regret later. And we have this is talking about abundance. In your abundance, this energy of the dark night of the soul, I just keep picking up this energy that this could have something to do with a lover, someone that your lover knows something about this, or it could have to do with your lover on some level. It doesn't necessarily have to be them, but it's maybe someone they know, or I don't know, some sort of energy here. Just you'll have to use your intuition and take it from that. We have the Wheel of Fortune confirming that the energy starts changing once this information comes in, and the sun is shining on it. So the sun is the happiest card in the deck. It's representing, this reward is coming in because you have followed your path of glory. You've stayed on the path that was destined for you by God, and this is your reward for doing it. You've been very patient, and you've been through some sort of hardship here. And the universe and God have collaborated to bring this reward in, to reward you for that energy. And we have the energy also of using your intuition here. So that using your third eye, so that you can, and being creative in your solutions here, moving forward. We also have the energy of Aries here. And so this is talking about the shift that's happening right now with all this Aries energy, this new energy, and especially for you Pisces, having moved that you're ruled by the sign of Neptune and Saturn, and both of them just moved into Aries like a month ago, and you're used to having them in your sign, and now they're in this totally different energy here. And so you're going to have to remember the old way of doing things just might not work for you in the same way, and you might have to become more innovative in your approach to business and just in life in general, to all your relationships, and that kind of take a look at them under a new light, basically, so that you can have a little bit more energy around that. This is because I'm being careful about lack of awareness, so never underestimate the power of willful ignorance. So this is saying this energy that was coming towards you, it's been coming towards you for a while. And I feel like this is saying that you're, with this new moon energy coming in, this is, I feel, when this wheel is going to start to turn, and that's tomorrow. So, and it's already, we're feeling it already now. And also about all these new signs having gone into the sign of Aries for the last month. And with the eclipses, because this energy can also, this can represent that eclipse energy as well as this here. So just kind of pay attention to what's going on and to your intuition. This is talking about the information that you get again. Then this is, you get the big gusto of information, and then you get some other information coming in, and this is sitting on the energy of your partnerships, commitments, and marriage. So it could be something, there's this big thing, and then there's a part of it that involves your lover on some level. And it may not necessarily be coming from them, but it involves them. It could be someone that knows them, or someone that was a friend of theirs and maybe wasn't such a good friend after all. I don't know. It's something to do with that kind of energy. And you don't, never underestimate the power of willful ignorance. Is like when you kind of ignore what's coming in because you don't, I don't want to know that. It's this energy here. I don't want to know that about someone. And then this is Aquarius energy. We're talking about, taking this energy. The Aquarius approach to this is really a good way to be. I want to point out that when these horoscope signs come in, I'm not talking about an individual. I'm talking about the signs themselves. And so what can we learn from each sign? We have a little bit of every sign in us, or most of them anyway, and we can learn from that energy. And but in your own reading, it could be yes, this is an Aquarius, this is an Aries, but that's not my intention doing this reading. So I just want you to be aware of that. I'm more interested, what can we learn from it? And the Aquarius approach is taking something that's not working, and instead of trying to fix it, trying an experiment, like just a small experiment. If I do this with this energy, does it make it better or worse? And if it makes it better, you double up doing more of that. And if it makes it worse, then you don't do that anymore, and you do another small experiment. I like that approach because you're actually doing something about it and seeing how that's going to work in action. And then we have the High Priestess energy. So this is saying, using your intuition. And the High Priestess, she sits next to the throne of God, and it's like having that inner joy because you just know that you're going to come up with that new idea or whatever, that you're generating information is coming in, and you're processing it and coming up with new ideas and new ways of doing things, and that you can handle this new energy. This is attachment. What's yours is mine, and what's mine is mine. It's that kind of energy, but it's also, I feel, talking about, remember, you might have to change the way that you've been doing business in your approach, just like your, the underlying energy. You want to make sure that it's in alignment with this new way of doing things, rather than insisting on doing things because it's always worked that way. The energy is very different now, and what used to work for you every time may not as much. And then this is talking about eschatoma. So this is an energy of maybe before this new cycle happened, your mind was closed and you weren't able to see things that other people could see. Or this energy can also talk about you're on a new cycle here, and you can see something like this new idea. I'm getting, like, keep it silent to yourself until you get it launched, or, if you want to add someone in, make sure that you already have it kind of established for yourself. And then once you know that you have it, you've started putting it in process, then you could look for financial backing or a partner or some sort of energy, because I feel like you have the full idea. You don't need someone with an idea anymore. You need the financial backing more, is what I'm getting. And then this is becoming a leader, and talking about like recognizing no matter what age we are, the Leo energy, Leos are natural born leaders. They're very charismatic and people enjoy their leadership style a lot of the time. They can be a little arrogant, but that kind of wears off a little bit when they have more and more confidence from maturity. And so the Leo energy can be very impulsive, kind of like teenage boys, and kind of boastful and, you know, a little bit impulsive or a lot impulsive, that kind of energy. But as it matures, it's having strong leadership skills. And I feel like you could be at any age and be in that, like where if you're starting a new project and you're implementing new ways of doing business compared to how you used to, or how you carry, like maybe if you make some small change even in your relationship, if you are in a marriage, it could really change the marriage in a really awesome way and make it that much better. So, it could be a small adjustment in scheduling that maybe the two of you couldn't see and now you can, or you couldn't see eye to eye on something and now you can with this new idea. That kind of energy, being supportive of each other and of yourself. This is a really good reading. There's a lot of really good opportunity here for you, Pisces. I do hope you've enjoyed the reading. Please give it a like and comment if you have. Consider subscribing. I would be honored if you did so. And I will be back with another reading for you regarding the end of the month. And that I will be talking about the new energy coming in on the 25th of April when we have Uranus, which is another big planet, making a big move, and it's moving into the sign of Gemini. So there's going to be another kind of wallop from the astrological influences. For now, let's just breathe this in and enjoy this energy. All right. Bye for now. Sorry, little Stella. You had a good purr going there, baby.